And that's because garbage attracts garbage. When you have garbage as set up in your society, it attracts garbage. So what do I mean by that? See, this is a law of attraction. Like attracts like. Like does not attract opposite. Like attracts like. The more you're in a higher level of awareness and consciousness, the more higher consciousness and other people in higher consciousness are going to gravitate to you. The more you're in a state of garbage mentality and low vibratory consciousness, the more you're going to attract garbage. Well, government is the lowest vibratory state of consciousness that there can ever be, because it's based in violence, coercion, duress, and slavery. So going back to the slide, I want to make this point very clear with the paragraph right on it. Government itself is a straight line vector for people who are psychopaths, control freaks, bullies, racists, etc., to be allowed to carry out their desired form of violence upon others. And I mean be allowed to carry it out, folks. This is something in police forces which is known as qualified immunity. Look it up. Qualified immunity. I did not place those words on the slide. I'm just saying them while putting the slide up here. But please look up that term in policing known as qualified immunity. It means that police members as individuals cannot be sued and held personally liable or responsible in almost all police departments in the United States and at a federal level for actions which they take which violate human rights. They are immune from that, and then people can only sue a department that is then going to launch an investigation of themselves, and we know what happens then. Murderers get off, with either a paycheck still intact, or at the very worst, maybe get fired, and no other action is taken against them. Government is a straight line vector for this garbage in our society. Psychopaths, control freaks, bullies, and racists. And believe me, the police forces are full of every single type of this trash. Trash. Vermin. Human fucking vermin. And if you don't think so, you're a fucking naive punk bitch child who knows nothing about what goes on Earth. Right to your face. I don't give a shit who you are. I'll say it right to you. You have no idea what goes on in the police forces. Over the next couple of weeks, probably, I'm going to be covering first-hand accounts of what actually goes on inside police forces. Hopefully, I'll have a dispatcher from a former police force on the show, if we can locate him, to tell you how fucking sick these fuckheads are. They're sick. Sick, diseased, mentally ill people that want to carry out their fucking hatred on the whole human race, on whoever they can get their hands on. That's the majority of them. It's not a few bad apples. That's the majority, because this is what government, the conceptual idea of authority over other people, this is what, like a magnet, gravitates other people toward. Okay? And the brainwashed public believe these thugs have the right to conduct such violence to others. You'll hear brainwashed asininity spouted out of their shit-spewing pie holes like this. Well, without government, violent street gangs would take over. I gotta where's my puppet? Just step out of the slides for a minute. The vomit puppet is coming out. See if I have him on this machine, if I could find him. Here he goes. Let's step back into the slides. Well, without government, like violent street gangs would take over. We gotta have government. We need police. Otherwise, who would beat people to death on the street and smash their head into a red bloody pulp all over the pavement? We gotta have police forces. Don't you know that? Fucking imbeciles. just clown fucking imbeciles. You know? It's sad. It's really, really, really sad where we're at as a society, how fucking dumb people are. And people ask me the question. I'm going to just take this as I go. Just take it at my pace. I was asked a question on the question and answer session from the Other Perspective of Reality teleconference in Spain yesterday. Mark, how do you deal with the idiocy of these people? How do you deal with their willful ignorance and how stupid they are? And you know what my answer was to the woman who asked the question? I deal with it very badly. Unfortunately, I deal with it terribly. I don't deal with it well. I try not to let it consume me, but no, you couldn't say I deal with it too well. I think you could hear that. I think if you have a little bit of intelligence left in your brain, I think you could hear I'm not dealing with it too well, folks. You know, I don't think it should be dealt with too well, quite frankly. You know, I think it should make you angry. I don't think that you should dwell and just stay in that anger at all times and places. I think you should express that anger. I think you should express it by channeling it into public work to explain to people that this is unacceptable and that it is slavery. And that is teaching natural law and teaching the great work and staying loyal to first principles regarding rights. Okay? So let's move on in the slides. Sorry, we have a phone ringing. We'll take care of that. All right, we stopped it already. So the next slide is called Cowards Attract Garbage. So not only is garbage attracted to other garbage, but cowards actually attract garbage into our environment. And that's part of why we have police forces and don't really truly have a militia of the people. As soon as most quote unquote freedom advocates, they're nothing of the kind. They're freedom advocates in word only. Okay? In name only. As soon as these so-called freedom advocates become afraid that their life might be in danger, then suddenly they want the police force and the National Guard to come and run to their saving and handle the problem for them. I mean, imagine this. This is what people go, oh, well, why should we take personal responsibility for our safety? That's the first and primary personal responsibility you have to take is for your life and safety. If you don't value your life very much. Secondly, no one else can protect you. These people aren't protecting you. They're protecting the state. They're protecting the dictates of the state. That's what they're protecting. They're not protecting you or your life or your rights. They don't give a shit about your rights. These people don't give a fuck about your rights. You naive shit for brains person. They don't care about you. They don't care about your rights.